Why you overthink everything. Do you ever replay a conversation in your head and think, why did I say that? Maybe you sent someone a message and they haven't replied for 2 hours. Now you're thinking, did I say something wrong? Are they angry with me? Did I sound desperate? Maybe they don't like me anymore. And suddenly, one unanswered message has turned into a full movie playing inside your head. Or maybe you're trying to make a simple decision. What should I do? What if I choose the wrong option? What if I regret it? What if something goes wrong? And you keep thinking and thinking and thinking until you're more confused than when you started. If you do this a lot, you're probably an overthinker. And the frustrating part is, you know you're doing it, but you don't know how to stop. So why do we overthink everything? Sometimes your brain is trying to protect you. Your brain doesn't like uncertainty. It wants to know what's going to happen. It wants answers. It wants control. So when something is uncertain, your mind starts creating possibilities. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if something goes wrong? Your brain thinks it's helping you prepare. But there's a problem. Thinking about something more doesn't necessarily prepare you for it. Sometimes it just makes you more anxious. And here's something interesting. Most of the things you worry about never actually happen. Think about all the things you've worried about in the past. Things you were convinced would go terribly wrong. Maybe you thought you would embarrass yourself. Maybe you thought someone would hate you. Maybe you thought you wouldn't pass. Maybe you thought your life was falling apart. And then, somehow, you got through it. The situation happened. You survived it. And eventually, you moved on. But your brain doesn't remember that very well. It keeps looking for the next problem. So you have to learn how to tell yourself, I don't know what will happen, and that's okay. Stop trying to solve problems that don't exist yet. This is one of the biggest causes of overthinking. You're sitting in your room, and you're mentally preparing for an argument that hasn't happened. You're worrying about a rejection you haven't received. You're stressing about a future that hasn't arrived. You're creating 10 different scenarios and emotionally experiencing all of them. But ask yourself, is there actually a problem right now? If the answer is no, come back to the present. Because you can't solve tomorrow's problems today. And you definitely don't need to suffer through them before they even happen. Another reason you overthink is because you care too much about what people think. Maybe you walk into a room and suddenly you're aware of everything. How you're standing, how you're talking, what you're wearing, whether people are looking at you, you say something, and spend the next 3 hours wondering if it sounded stupid. But here's something you need to understand. People aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. Everyone is busy thinking about themselves. They're thinking about their own problems, their own appearance, their own mistakes, their own conversations. That embarrassing thing you said yesterday? There's a good chance nobody remembers it, and even if someone does, they probably don't care nearly as much as you imagine. So stop living your life as if you're constantly being watched. You're not. Learn to make decisions without needing 100% certainty. Overthinkers often want the perfect decision. They want to know, is this definitely the right choice? But you rarely get that kind of certainty. Should you take this job? Should you move? Should you message this person? Should you start that project? Should you choose this career? You can research forever and still not know. Sometimes you have to make the best decision you can with the information you have. Then, you move forward. Because making a decision isn't always about knowing the future. It's about trusting yourself to handle whatever happens next. And that's an important difference. Stop asking, what if? And start asking, what can I do? What if I fail? Okay, if you fail, what will you do? What if they reject me? Okay, if they reject you, how will you handle it? What if things don't work out? Then you'll figure out what to do next. See the difference? Instead of endlessly imagining problems, you're preparing yourself to handle reality. That's real confidence. Confidence isn't believing that nothing will go wrong. It's believing, if something goes wrong, I'll be okay. Sometimes the best solution to overthinking isn't more thinking, it's movement. Go outside. Take a walk. Exercise. Clean your room. Talk to someone. Write your thoughts down. Put your phone away. Do something that brings you back into the real world. Because when you're sitting alone with your thoughts for hours, your brain can make tiny problems feel enormous. But once you step outside and actually live your life, you often realize, wait, this isn't as big as I thought. Try writing your thoughts down. When your mind is going crazy, grab a piece of paper and write, what am I worried about? Then ask, can I control this? If yes, write down one action you can take. If no, you have to practice letting it go. You don't need to solve everything. Some things are simply outside your control. You can't control what someone thinks about you. You can't control whether someone likes you. You can't control the past. You can't control exactly what happens tomorrow. But you can control what you do today. And that's where your attention belongs. And please, don't confuse overthinking with being productive. Thinking for 3 hours about starting something isn't the same as starting. Planning the perfect workout isn't the same as exercising. Thinking about making a YouTube channel isn't the same as making the first video. Researching the perfect career isn't the same as trying something. Sometimes we overthink because thinking feels safer than doing. Because once you act, you can fail. But here's the truth. You will never think your way into a perfect life. At some point, you have to act. So the next time you catch yourself overthinking, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this actually happening right now? If it isn't, come back to the present. Then ask, can I do anything about it? If yes, take one small action. If no, let yourself move on. You don't need to figure out every possible outcome. You don't need to know exactly what people think. You don't need to predict your entire future. You just need to deal with what's actually in front of you. Because here's the thing about overthinking, your mind can create 1,000 different futures, but you only ever live in one. So don't spend today suffering through problems that might never happen. Enjoy the conversation, send the message, make the decision, take the chance, go outside, live your life. And if things don't work out, you'll deal with them when they actually happen, not before. So tonight when your brain starts going, what if? What if? What if? Take a breath and tell yourself, I'll deal with it when it happens. Because you don't need to solve your entire future tonight, you just need to live today. And sometimes, the best way to quiet your mind is to stop trying to control everything. You don't need every answer, you just need enough courage to take the next step.